Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuhu. Innal hamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah anbiya wal mursaleen. First of all, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessing of performing the Hajj, blessing of being with such great Hujjaj during the Hajj time. They say that if you want to understand a person, you should spend some time with them, and I'm so glad to have spent all this time with all of you guys. And mashallah, I should say that you're some of the best people that I have run into, inshallah ta'ala. So, first of all, let's thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a beautiful ayah from Surah Araf. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi alladhi hadana li hada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allahu. The meaning, as it's listed here, it says, all the praises and thanks to be to Allah who guided us to this, and never could we have found guidance were it not that Allah guided us. This applies to the fact that we were able to find our way to Hajj Baitullah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted us for that. So thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He guided us throughout the entire process to patiently, with a lot of devotion, we were able to complete the Hajj and brought us back safely through all the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided us. So we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. This leads us right into Hajj Mabrur. Our hope, inshallah ta'ala, is each one of you is granted Hajj Mabrur, inshallah. But you need to start looking at the signs of what Hajj Mabrur are. And some of the signs is one, of course, which is something that the first one, I'm a witness to that. I'm a witness to that my team performed the Hajj with the least amount of frustration that was expressed. My team was a lot more patient. I can be a witness to that one. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. But then the feeling of contentment from Hajj Baitullah, this is something that each one of you individually has to ask yourself, okay? And in some cases, you might feel resentment, you might feel frustration, but force yourself, think about it. There are millions and millions of people who would like to perform Hajj. Do you know that there were like more than 100,000 illegal pilgrims in the area? Now, why were they there? Because they wanted to perform Hajj. They wanted to perform Hajj. There are millions of other people that wanted to perform Hajj Baitullah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not invite them this year. I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala extends the invitation in the next years. But this year it was not. So feel that contentment, feel that feeling of wow, Alhamdulillah, I performed Hajj. Have that feeling. Once you bring that feeling, everything falls behind, everything goes away. Once you tell yourself, mashallah, alhamdulillah, I performed Hajj, all your frustration will be left behind. Yes, you should provide feedback. I'm again not even suggesting that you ignore the challenges you went through, but I'm asking you to still look beyond that and look at what you have accomplished. Subhanallah. The other thing that you have to look at is Hajj is considered to be a life-changing experience. It's a life-changing experience. Now, you could change the life, you could bring changes in your life that is more spiritual, that is internal to you. But it's also good for you to show some of your spiritual changes externally. So each one of you should look on in your own area, in your own space, in your own lifestyle, to see what can you do to bring a change in your lifestyle. Whether it is, for example, if you're going for 3 times prayers to the masjid, go the 4th time. If you're missing the Fajr prayer in the masjid, subhanallah, try going to the Fajr prayer in the masjid. It's a totally different experience. Just on that note, I have to share something. One of the general of the enemy, and I don't want to name the enemy, the two generals were talking, looking at the number of people that were in the Jummah prayer, saying that, wow, look at this number of people. The other general commented, don't worry, you should really be concerned if you see this many people at Fajr prayer. Subhanallah. I hope we all start thinking about going for Fajr prayer so that we can show our strength, inshallah ta'ala. So, uh, now I want to move on to something which is very dear to me. These are all the feedback we got. I'm not sharing this feedback to say how great we were, okay? I'm sharing this to show, and some of the areas that I want to highlight, okay? This is from Brother Naveed, for example, and this is from Brother Nabi, amazing Brother Rabbi, okay, amazing in difficult situations that they went, and then the common theme that I noticed in the feedback was that how you all felt like a family together. This is the beautiful feeling, and this, in my opinion, is what one of the aspect of the Hajj is. This is one of the area where we go from. People were there from Australia, people were there from Netherlands, people were there from UK, people were there from Switzerland, people were there from Canada, from different parts of the United States, but you all came together. There were people who were like for example, in this case, Brother Abe, if you're on the call, he helped a Moroccan lady from USA, from USA. He is from Australia. He helped this Moroccan lady from United States pushing her wheelchair to Jamara. Can you imagine this in any other religion? An Australian pushing the wheelchair of a Moroccan sister from United States in Saudi Arabia, in the hot weather, 125 degrees. This is what we call a family. This is what we call a family. And then I want to list out a few examples of how my Hujjaj, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call you my Hujjaj, how my Hujjaj performed during the Hajj time. I'm not going to talk about how well they did the tawaf. I'm not going to talk about how well they did the sa'i or how well they threw the pebbles at the jamra. It is that interpersonal relationship. That's a beautiful feeling that I have to speak of. Brother Muhammad Abdi and Brother Mansoor, they went out in the hot weather looking for a couple who did not even belong to our group, who were stuck somewhere in Mina camp. They could not even tell us where they were. They went, they spent like 2 3 hours searching for that couple, and they brought them back to the camp. Can you imagine this? And they did not belong to our camp. They did not, I mean, Brother Mansoor is an Australian. This sister was not even from Australia. So these are the things. And then while we were performing the Rami on the last day, one of the sister called us and said, in the last minute, she realized that the person who was going to do the Rami could not do it. And we were able to find our guide, Mohsen, Hafiz Mohsen, to be able to go quickly run back. This was in the last minute, just before the Maghrib Salah is approaching. He was able to run right back to the beginning of the Jamara and perform the Rami on behalf of the sister. Now, this is a family. This is a family. And this is the reason for highlight. And this is just an example, by the way. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, we have received several feedback, not talking about the greatness of Brother Farid, Brother Wasim, Brother Salah, Brother Mohsin. No, talking about how each one of you felt as being part of the family. There were some elderly people in our group. I was so pleased to see that how the Hujaj took care of each other. Brother Khuteba, Brother Naveed, Brother Morshed, I can name many people. The way you took care of each other, subhanallah, subhanallah. This, in my opinion, any of the appreciation, any success, any accomplishment of this group. And let me put this way, we were one of the largest group in the camp, and there were several people that were rooting for us, but they were also trying to see how well we perform being such a large group. And subhanallah, you all came through well. And after Allah's blessings, in my opinion, any of the appreciation, any success, any accomplishment of this group is because of every Hujjaj in our group for being patient, for following up on the suggestions. For example, I mean, I have been talking about the heat for many, many webinars. You could have blown it off saying that Brother Farid exaggerates, but no. I noticed that you all had come prepared for the heat. And subhanallah, subhanallah, you all handled the heat very, very well. I'm really pleased to say that other than one or two cases where, uh, due to different reasons, people fell sick, I have to say that most of you, Alhamdulillah, were able to perform the ritual of the Hajj. I know after the Hajj, it is very normal for people to get sick. It is very, very normal. But at least until the completion of the Hajj, most of my Hujjaj were healthy and were able to perform their rituals perfectly. And the fact that you were patient, even when we knew that other groups were able to get through the bus, but you did not run out there. I appreciate that. I highly appreciate that you followed my request to stay in the cabin. I really do appreciate that one. And for following up on the suggestions made and adopting them to the fullest before and during the Hajj, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. I really do appreciate this one. And these appreciation, I received several appreciation from many other people for noticing that how well organized our group was in terms of not rushing out there, listening to the guides, following up on our instructions. So for all this, I really appreciate everybody. I mean, it is a tremendous job. It's not easy to be patient. I understand that. I hope you all now realize why I was so often emphasizing on sabr, on sabr, on sabr, because these things, no matter how well you make the arrangements, things do fall apart. The bus service, we had gone step by step. Brother Samir and I, we had gone step by step discussing how each one of the things would be done, how each one of the things would be done. Things got blown out, basically. So this is where you need to understand that this is very easily possible. And this is where, mashallah, I appreciate that my hujjaj followed up on my request to be patient and followed up on the request that I was making as we were going through. Now, very quickly, I want to move on to where I want to see my hujjaj helping out. Now you have gone through the Hajj, you have gone through the Nusuk process, you have seen some of how the packages can be listed, you have seen the pros and cons of being in Azizia, you have seen the pros and cons of paying a little bit less, paying a little bit more. You have seen all that. Now it is your job to step up and help the Hujjaj of 2025. Okay, it is your job. Now you are going to become the ambassadors for Hajj 2025. You, please avoid scaring the people. Please avoid telling them it's very hard, you will suffer, you will go. No, please avoid that, because by doing that, you're only going to scare people away from performing the Hajj, and we don't want any one of us to be responsible for that. Instead, do talk about the weather. Do talk about the weather, but talk about the weather with solution, followed up with solution. Yes, it is extremely hot. Yes, the temperatures do go up. Yes, the sun bears, but this is how you can do to solve it. This is how you can do to protect yourself. So that's the attitude, that's the strategy I want my hujjas to take for 2025. Nusuk, you know the challenges of Nusuk. You know how to upload the documents. You know how to resolve some of the issues. I am not completely sure what improvements they'll make to e-wallet, but there will be some form of e-wallet. I'm possibly thinking they are going to make the e-wallet a little bit open, where you can add the funds and withdraw the funds at your will. I'm not certain about it, but my feeling is that's where it's going to head towards. Okay, because in the Nusuk app they have already added a credit card type of feature, a online fund e-wallet type of feature where you can put the money and you can withdraw the money out of it. So I'm thinking they are going to do something similar in the Nusuk app for the Hajj also. Okay, so but you know all the e-wallet process, you know how to add the money to the credit card, you know how to upload the document. Now you need to help the next group of hujjaj. Nusuk scares a lot of people, and I understand that because it's a computerized application. Everybody is not comfortable with it, so it does cause. But now that you've gone through it, you should help the next group of people. My plan, inshallah ta'ala, is to start getting back into webinars, start exchanging, releasing information towards the end of November. We have created a WhatsApp info channel. People can join this. I'm actually going to recommend that each one of you, even though you might not be planning for Hajj for 2025, I would suggest that you join this channel so that when we start sharing the information by end of November, you can take this information and relate to your local groups, in your local masjid, to your local group of people who might be considering Hajj of 2025. If you need any material, if you need my presentations, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts us for next year, okay, um, I am more than willing to share that with you. Okay, if you need me to within a reasonable distance, if you need me to come and visit and help, I'm willing to do that. So I am willing to help in any which way possible. And after going through this year, it is amazing how much some of our information has changed, has helped people across the globe. And I want you to do the same thing now. I would like you to be the ambassadors of the next Hajj 2025, where you can guide people, share information, make them feel comfortable, make them feel comfortable that they can go through the nusuk, and you're more than willing to help them. Okay, so this is my humble request to you. Join this channel if you can, and share this information with anyone else that is interested in Hajj 2025. If for any reason, if anybody doesn't want to join this channel, encourage them to join some other group. Encourage them to join other groups that will start training people. Encourage them, because it's really important to be part of some group that is training, about nusuk. And again, remember the statement here: our guidance and training for Hajj is absolutely open to all without any registration or commitment. Nope, you don't need to register, you don't need to commit. Even the packages and the groups that we, inshallah ta'ala, will be involved in next year, you don't have to be involved. You don't have to be part of that group. You don't have to get into those packages. There is no commitment, zero commitment. Our goal, as always previously, has been to provide the guidance and help the Hujjaj who are planning on going for Hajj. That is our plan, inshallah ta'ala. So, this is the end of my presentation. Brother Wasim, if there are questions, go ahead and you can start that.
Yeah, one minute, let me open. I see one hand raised. Uh, so, Brother Kadir, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Assist.
salam.
I wanted to provide some feedback.
Mhm.
Um, so I really, really did appreciate um, your team providing us with the guidance before the Hajj and everything. Um, there are a couple things that I wish it would have been different.
Mhm.
As far as safety wise for the Hujjaj, I wish you guys took attendance. You
Yes.
know, at checked in on the Hujjaj after we arrived home. I know a lot of people did text you, but
Mhm.
some of the people who didn't text you, I wish you would have just check in, see if they did make it home okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and another point was the transportation. I know that it wasn't in your hands most of the time, but when it was, um, like you had 300 plus Hujjaj, right?
Hmm.
So you had buses coming in, that was no issue. And I wish it, it was more organized, like
Hmm.
assign people to go
Hmm.
to the buses,
Hmm.
um, where you could have, if you, for example, if there was 50 people who fit into the bus, you know, have those people go out instead of, I know you did say, don't go out and stand, but when we did go, the buses were getting filled up so fast and people were
Hmm.
shoving and pushing.
Hmm.
Um, so that was one thing. And then one, it, one last thing. Um, when I arrived in Medina,
Hmm.
on my own, um, y- I wish you would have had addresses to the hotels that your Hajjaj were staying at, because it was a when I arrived, it took us a while to figure out the hotel, and then you
Hmm.
didn't have the address of the hotel. But
Hmm.
I did appreciate you coming out to the other hotel, Concord, which it wasn't assigned to us, but Rawaf Mina did make arrangement for us over there, and I
Hmm.
did appreciate you coming out, checking in. But I had I hope you had, the address to the
Yeah.
hotel. It wasn't all this information is for to make it better for the next group of Hujjaj,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and it's nothing. I'm not trying to point to anybody,
Right.
um, just to make things better for the next Hujjaj.
Absolutely. Actually, I very much appreciate your comments. And let me just provide a little bit of feedback to you on that one.
Okay.
Uh, when people returned back after the Hajj, um, yes, I think individually I should have done it or guides should have followed up on it. But I concentrated on following up with anybody that was sick actually. Okay, maybe I should have done a little bit more of doing it on everyone else, but I was monitoring the chat, by the way. Okay, checking to see that how many people are doing it. But your point is absolutely valid, and I think we should do that, inshallah. Next year we'll bear that in mind. As to the transportation, our plans are evolving where we are going to do things very differently next year. Okay. We are going to talk to our service providers to do things differently. This shoving, and this was definitely not pleasant. This is something that um, I had given a transportation plan, by the way, okay, to our service provider, which was a very extensive transportation plan where none of this thing would have happened, and exactly what you're talking about, tracking who goes in the bus. We had even a barcode plan basically on the back of each ID so that we would track who is on the bus, who gets off the bus. We had lots of these plans, but unfortunately, due to some of the logistical reasons, which again, not acceptable to me, but there were lots of different reasons that we could not implement that transportation plan with the service provider. Inshallah ta'ala, when next year we are going to modify the transportation plan to make it more practical, but we do have a plan for next year. It is not going to be this chaotic, inshallah ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala. Okay. So, but I do appreciate, and the comment about following up at the end, yes. And your comment about the addresses, very valid comment. Okay. I think between us and the service provider, the address should be listed either in the package, or we, the team that is working with you, we should provide you the address, because I think I probably recognize where you're coming from, because some of the people, some of the hujjaj were going to the wrong hotel and they had to struggle in that hotel, and then being said, no, you don't need to be here, you need to be in some other hotel. That is frustrating. Inshallah, we'll correct that next year.
Thank you. And any help you need, anything you need for next year, we're there.
Yeah, the biggest help that you can do for me is to work with your local community and reach out to me if I can help in any possible way, I'm willing to do it. Okay. Uh, one of the things that we have heard last year many times, people saying, can you come here, sit with us, and do this for us? Okay. I mean, again, without sounding grandeur, we cannot do that across the globe, right? So we need people in each area, in each city, in each community to stand up and say, I can help you. Okay. So if you're volunteering, please drop me a note. We will put you on the list of volunteers. And also, when you drop a note, give us an area where you live, so that the next time when we get any kind of request in that local area, we can have them contact you. So Jazakallah khair for offering that. Okay.
Sounds good.
I do have a hard stop in a few minutes, actually. I can extend for maybe another 10 minutes if there are more questions.
I think next is yeah. There's one more hand up, Jibril Ba, brother Jibril.
Brother Jibril, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Sam, buddy.
So I owe you a visit to the Manhattan, inshallah.
Okay, I hope to see you, man.
Inshallah.
Thank
Go
you
ahead,
so
please.
much for the wonderful job you guys did, man. It was amazing, man. Despite all the challenges you went through, but
Alhamdulillah.
still, you showed that you were a leader, you know.
Alhamdulillah.
So I really appreciate that. Even from the beginning, before we get all this package, your help was very, very, very useful to me for me to get that package. So I really appreciate that.
Alhamdulillah.
So only a few suggestions I have
Yeah.
that I have observed. Uh, and overall, the Hajj went well. Everything went well. It's only the
Mm-hmm.
transportation, I think, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be worked on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that there are simple solutions that can be done that will prevent the pushing and shoving. I know you have all the list of the Hujjaj that were there. If you can, like, if a bus has arrived, they could just call, like, the amount of numbers of people that could enter that bus. You just call on the names, those people go, and the bus, and the next bus come, call the next set of people to go to the bus. I think that is a very easy way to do that regarding the bus. Before they will figure out other things to do. And the next thing, like, this is for Nusuk. So if you're gonna present a kind of suggestion to Nusuk, uh, like, the process could be lot easier during the registration process. Like, if you finish registration when you've been approved, I believe there is a possibility that you could select the package you want the time you've been approved. So that way, when the packages are finished, the people that will come after that, they should be able to put them on a waiting list for the next year as a first come serve. So that will prevent people from just rushing at the website at a certain time when the package has been released and that is going to be purchase is going to start. So that will prevent that. Uh, One other thing I couldn't remember. My suggestion was, I think that's what's in my head for now. In case I
Okay.
remember the other point, how we
Okay.
pointed
Well,
out. So, mhm.
yeah, Brother
Yes.
Jibril, Jazakallah khair for that. But please do remember to send it directly to Nusuk, and also to please put these comments in our feedback form. Please use that one so that we have it together. Our team will meet. We are actually regularly discussing about different ways that we need to improve. It'll definitely help us greatly if you put it in the form. Okay, and again, even for
What's the
us,
form
please.
again?
There is a
What's the,
QR code right here, right here.
okay, I send it to Nusuk already.
Yeah,
But
please. Uh, the feedback for us where we can make improvement. Please put it in our feedback form here. Okay,
Okay.
please do that. It will help us greatly. So Jazakallah khair for your suggestions, Brother Jibril. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll hope to see you soon, inshallah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Brother
Uh,
Wasim.
yeah, brother Kazi Khair.
Brother Khazi. Brother Khazi, are
Hello.
you on?
You can unmute yourself if you are there. Okay. Oh yeah, I think he unmuted. Yeah, brother Kazi.
Brother Khazi.
We can't hear you. I see you unmuted yourself, but we can't. I don't know if it's your audio setup.
Okay. Shall we go to the next one?
The next
We
one
got
is brother Abdul Rahman.
Brother Abdurrahman.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Akhi.
So I think even if we have to just say salamu alaikum and just greet you is worth the comments. I
Absolutely.
appreciate all you did,
Alhamdulillah.
and my heart actually melted when I was leaving Medina. I thought you had gone, and I was coming down from the elevator, and we ran into each other. So, and that shows the kind of leader you are. I was one of the last person to leave Medina, and to still leave you behind, it shows a lot. It tells me a lot. So I so
Alhamdulillah.
much appreciate you, brother Wasim. All you do, I appreciate you so much.
Jazakallah.
Um, like you saw, you suggested to us, before we go into the negatives, as human being, we see the negative first before, but as Muslims, before you dwell on the negative, why don't you appreciate the positives first? So I appreciate everything about my trip, my journey, everything. Alhamdulillah. So
Alhamdulillah.
to make it better, for the next people that will be doing Hajj in the coming years, we do not know anything about the hotels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hotel from Medina, ah man, and I think when I was expressing that to you, you shared
Yep.
the same sentiment.
Yep.
That wasn't that wasn't a good fit.
Yep.
No, we need to make
Absolutely.
sure we get on Rawaf Mina or whoever that is responsible for that.
Yep.
The towels in the hotel, they were rags. They were not even towels. How can they do that? That's not acceptable. They have to treat us like guests, and we do not know anything about the hotel. We just see names. They post good pictures. Next time they call that false advertisement. So we need to let Rawak Mina people know this is not the kind of hotel you want to put your Ujaj. That's the only thing I want to suggest, and I know you must have that on your list as well. Thank you
It
so much.
does. Actually, Brother Abdurrahman, let me give a little bit of background to that one. When we originally started talking about Rawaf Mina's packages, we had limited our recommendation to Swiss, to Voco, and Holiday Inn, and only certain packages of the hotels where we knew. Okay, we had basically said we are not going to support any other packages. This is what we had stated initially. By Allah's will, we found out that many of our Hujjaj had selected packages that were that were different hotels than what we had recommended, because we knew the Holiday Inn, we knew Mektan in Medina, we knew the Swiss, we knew Voco, the address, we knew the conditions of these hotels. Okay, but we did not have the experience of the other hotels. So initially we had said we are not going to support it. But again, several of our Hujjaj selected some other packages, and we did not feel right for us to reject supporting those packages. And that's basically what happened. Again, but to your point, I'll definitely take your feedback. And one of my recommendation for next year is going to be, look at a little bit more detail about the hotel. about the location. I know sometimes you might find a cheaper package and thinking that this is $8,000, let me take it. But unfortunately, that also will comes with a price of the type of accommodation that you end up with. Okay, this is something that we will try to educate our Hujjaj in the next year a little bit more clearly, so that they understand when they're looking at hotels, when they're looking at packages, they do need to understand it might what is cheaper is not the best location also. So but I do appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, I understand the difficulties that we faced in Medina. Okay,
Thank you.
Brother,
next.
Brother Farid, my mic is good now. Assalamu alaikum. This is Kazi
Walaikum
again.
salam. Brother,
I
brother Khazi, how are you doing?
actually I was sick. Now I'm feeling better from yesterday. After I came back, I had to go to hospital, and I had to go 3 times in the hospital to do
Subhanallah.
the
You know what, brother Khazi, can I interrupt you for a minute? We
yeah
all should make dua for a brother who is uh, who is in the hospital in Jeddah. One of our Haji,
yeah.
he checked in. He went through the passport control, and close to the gate, he collapsed. Okay. He had
Oh,
to be rushed to the hospital with a lung infection, with a severe case of influenza. But Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, he's recovering well. And the doctors have said that probably sometime next week he should be able to travel. Rawaf Mina has done a great job of following up with that Haji's case, following up, visiting him, monitoring closely, speaking to the doctors, and they're also working with the airline to arrange for his flight back. Okay, so we should appreciate again when we see something good, we should appreciate. Rawaf
of
Mina has
course,
done a tremendous job about it. So let's make
of
dua
course.
for the brother.
So now
Go ahead,
I'm
brother.
feeling well. I came here in New York, and I got to good treatment in the hospital in the Well Cornell, and I'm
Alhamdulillah.
doing good now by the grace of Almighty and by the and I'm very happy I was in your team, and everybody was so cooperative. But one thing I actually when I went to Medina first, and I
Mm.
could get no communication like one day, 24 hours. So
Hmm.
just please put in a note.
Okay,
And
okay.
one thing,
When did you arrive in Medina, by the way?
I went to Medina on 7.
Okay. I was there in Medina. I'm not sure why I did not communicate with you. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. I'll keep that in mind next time,
Okay.
inshallah.
So one more thing.
Yeah.
Then when I came to Mecca, Swiss, in Swiss, I was in Swiss. They checked me out one day ahead of time. Then I had to work on it for so much, and I called Brother Washim. I called also you, and I had to run back and forth, back and forth. This is maybe I don't know why this happened. So maybe you can
Did
check with
we
that.
did we not resolve that issue?
That
I
was
thought we
resolved
corrected that.
after maybe 24 hours. We had a very
Yeah.
hard time. No food, no
So
room.
that is why, yeah, this one was basically the situation where there were few others also who were in this spot, but
Hmm.
basically they got a checkout which was one day earlier. It finally
Right.
did get resolved, but in the meantime, that keys were not working, so somebody had to stay inside and stuff like that had to happen.
This
Yes, I
was
remember that.
actually
I
what
remember
happened.
that.
It gave us very hard time, but
I
everything
understand.
was good. We eat our food and everything. There was no other problem, but we had to stay in the room. We had to go to the reception so many times to fix the problem. So just to let
Yep.
you know that this is happened because maybe because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Mina hotel. I don't know. So
Inshallah. Inshallah. Thank you. Thank you for that for the feedback. Yeah, I remember that difficulty that people in Swiss were going through, and I apologize for that.
I'm inshallah doing good, and please pray for me, and I'm praying for everybody.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. And Brother Khazi, sorry for becoming a little bit, uptight with you in some cases, but you have to understand when you have 200, 350 people, it's
I am
difficult. I apologize for that.
your leadership was great. I appreciate. I pray for you. Pray for Brother Washim. Inshallah, you will do good the rest of your life, and we need and Huzaz needs you. Just I can say Huzaz need you. You are good.
Inshallah.
Allah,
Inshallah.
inshallah, will help you.
Amen.
But
Amen.
okay, Assalamu alaikum, brother. All of
Alaikum.
you.
Brother Wasim,
Jazakallah. Yeah.
I can take two more questions.
Okay. Jazakallah brother Qazi for the feedback. Next is brother Rasibi Khan.
Brother Rasibi?
Assalamualaikum, Brother Farid. First of all, I want to say Jazakallah for all the arrangements. I definitely think one of the strong points was all the guidance that you provided on dealing with purchasing the packages up front. I have some feedback on that. Probably I'll write it up and send it, but I think so like being able to do like better search on the website on what the packages are, like if you can search by hotel names and duration, all
Mm-hmm.
that. Like a
Yeah,
lot of that right now was you had to go inside each package to kind of see those details, which like took up a lot of time and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just quickly on that point,
Hmm.
our plan is not to get involved in so many different packages. Limit the packages that we are going to be involved in, and in doing so, we might be able to provide more detailed information on the hotel from our side. Okay,
Okay.
instead of
Yeah.
each haji having to go through do the research, maybe we might be able to provide that as a service, but after limiting the number of packages we can work with. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. Hmm. And I think so like just with the guidance when we were there, guidance was pretty good. But I think so like you guys also like your team also got bogged down with a lot of logistics issues, which probably would have been raw minute issues. But definitely, alhamdulillah, everything worked out there. Yep.
Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah
Jazakallah.
for everything. Yep.
Thank you, brother Rasul. Wasim, one more question, please. Last one.
I think that was the last one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, everybody, please, 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 we want you to provide your feedback to us. Okay. And again, being a human, I'm going to request please avoid any personal attacks because it's not going to help us. Okay. And again, this is not just for me. Even if you're going to provide feedback to Rawaf Mina or to the Minister of Hajj or to the Nusuk team, first of all, do say the good things about them so that it's a little bit more receptive, and then provide the feedback that is factual and constructive. Getting into saying that Nusuk, your application is totally bad, we don't like it, that's not going to help the situation. Explain where you found the Nusuk app to be deficient, and if you know how to improve it, present that one. Okay, so that way when Nusuk reads it, they are reading it from a attitude that says this person really wants to help us rather than this person just wants to criticize us. Okay, so I'm sorry, I have another commitment. Jazakallah khair. Again, I from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the Hujjaj. It is amazing. It's amazing how well you are all with each other, taking care of each other. I don't want to name just any one single person or other person. The way you all help each other out, it is amazing. It's amazing. Being one of the largest group, and this is not you know what? This is nothing to do with the number. This is the fact that you all worked with each other, you all were patient. Yes, there were challenging situations, but the level of patience you showed, the level of having the right attitude that you showed, even a few people that did complain towards the end started being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Hajj Mabrur to me is. Hajj Mabrur is not just the fact that you made lots of du'as in tawaf or sa'i, not just that. It is when you come back from there, thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you come back from there, leaving all the challenges, the negativity, the frustration behind, and saying, Oh Allah, thank you. Oh Allah, thank you. In the same way, I thank all my hujjaj and all my guides, especially Brother Samir, for a lot of hard work he put in. So I thank each one of you. If there is anything I can do to help with the next year, please reach out to me. If it's in my capacity and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts me, I will help you, inshallah ta'ala. If anything good I have done or my team has done, this is only through the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And please pray that Allah accepts our efforts. Please pray that whatever little we have done is is in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any mistakes we have made, any deficiencies we have, any shortcomings we have done, and by the way, you are all very patient. I did lose my patience in one of the areas there with the authorities. Okay, I know some of you witnessed it. I apologize for that, and I just decided to give the sadaqah after consulting a scholar for losing my patience, but I lost patience for a minute there, and that was not good. But you all maintain the patience. I appreciate that. So, any shortcoming, any deficiency that we have had anywhere where we did not do a good job, first of all, I ask for forgiveness. And secondly, it's only due to our mistakes, and everything good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.